All right, here is what we're working on today. This is a 2000 Paystar, International Paystar 5000, and the transmission's been making some noises for a while, so we need to get it pulled out. We also need to pull the rear wheels off of it, and we've got to put new spring packs in on the back here. This left side has got 4 broken leaf springs. We've got some tires that we're going to have to replace. We'll check the brakes over on it and just kind of freshen everything up here while we've got the time. You can see these springs on this side are, well, they're about level or straight or whatever, so we're going to need to get them out of there and get them replaced. We've got a tire on the front left side that I want to replace, and again, we're just going to check the brakes on this and do all the particulars like that. This had an engine rebuilt on it a year ago now. Maybe it was a year and a half ago. So we're just going to go through it, get it freshened up, and get it rolled back out the door here. All right, we're moving right along on this project. Kerr has the wheels off of this, and he's got the tires. He's got half of them dismounted. We're going to throw new tires on this as well. We've got a couple of them that are decent that we'll hold on to them and use them on trucks that, you know, need 1 or 2 tires here or there. We need to get the springs out of this, and we're going to send Tim into Syracuse to get couple of new spring packs and some new hardware from Allied Spring. We also need to check the brakes on it. As long as everything is apart now, if it needs brakes, we'll go ahead and throw a set of shoes and a set of drums on it. We need to get the transmission out of it as well. We're kind of doing one thing at a time. The boys will be back here in a little while, help me get that out. But before we go any farther, I do want to thank a viewer from Washington State. His son dropped off some cold Pepsis for us here yesterday, and I want to thank Jeff Hewitt for having his son drop off some beer here yesterday. He dropped off a case of Blue Light, and a case of Busch. So we've got 72 beers to consume here. And that ought to keep us replenished for quite a while. So I want to thank Jeff Hewitt for having his son drop off some cold ones here yesterday. Thanks again, Jeff, and we're going to continue on with the rest of the work here. Alright, as you can see, we are now ready to lift this spring pack out of there. What there is a couple of saddles, a couple of reverse saddles that go on the bottom side, right underneath the actual trunnion pin itself. I think that's what that's called. And right now we are able to lift the spring pack right off of the actual walking beam itself. Now I've got just barely enough air hose left there because the axle is riding a lot lower right now than what it normally would. So we're going to come in here with a forklift, and we're just going to come up over the top of them, or up underneath them springs, lift that up out of there, and then what we'll be able to do is take these 4 bolts. I was able to loosen up the outside ones, which I was really surprised I was able to do that without any heat, but we're going to be replacing them bolts anyway. So we'll lift that out of there with a forklift, and then we'll run over to the other side and we'll do the same thing. Might not be able to might just have to reach in there and lift them off. Gotta go all in, Jaden. That's all. What? No. I gotta lift it with a bar. It's caught. Why we had the forklift there, Jaden. That way I didn't have to let it down on the ground. All right, we've got the springs setting on the forklift here. We're gonna pull that over in this other part of the shop here, and we'll get these bolts out of there, get the spring pack off, and then Tim can take them into Syracuse here. I've got to get this stud out of there too because I want to replace that stud. I'm just looking over these bushings here. They seem to be wore a little bit, but I don't think they're wore. Well, I don't know. I don't know what. We might have to do these walking beam bushings too, but I've got to look at that a little more. I've got to get that pin out of there once I get the other side out. So let's move on over to the other side. Hopefully we can use the forklift to lift the other side out here. So we are slowly getting this job done here. I've got the springs off the other side. We moved over on this side of the shop. I've got the spring pack out of the tower there. I've got to get them bolts out yet. The springs are sitting in the back of the truck right now. Tim's going to run them into Syracuse and get them matched up. Now, I ordered some tire chains here about a week ago, and they came in for what we call the John Deere truck. Now, we ended up losing a quick link here the other day. I found that in the driveway, and he's got a broken section here, so it's time to get him on there. So some of you are wondering from the last video if this was the truck that we scrapped, and this is a different truck that's about ready to be scrapped, but not yet. So I'll show you what these new chains look like here. And I got these from tire chains something or other.com. And these chains were distributed by Pewag Chain. So that's where these chains are made. I know somebody said something about get them from Pewag, but they're actually made by Pewag or Pewag. And I ordered these through Tire Chains or Us or Tire Chains Plus or something like that .com. These were like, oh, I think it was $500 maybe for all four. And then I also ended up ordering some chains here for the 720. They're in, well, in this box here and that bag there. So they're getting the chains unhooked here, and as you can see, This one on this side has got a broken jobber right here, and this actually, well, this quick link has crushed itself. So these quick links are junk. Like I was saying, they are soft, and it must have broke another link, and it's like that. But you've got to watch these. They get wore down to the point you'll get a piece that goes through the tire. We've had that happen before too. Got another broken section right here. So these couldn't have been put on here any sooner. Just drive. Now you got them unhooked. Drive ahead. Were you able to unhook all 4?
No, I got one. Just the inside.
No. Oh, you can't get the inside of that one. Okay. All right. That's all right. Just roll forward a little bit and then unhook that one, and then back in and set your new ones in place. She's gonna be a digger when you get them on there, huh? Yeah. Alright, we'll show you what this looks like with a brand new set of shiny chains. Jason's just about got this transmission ready to fall out of this truck. He's been doing all the dirty bow work here. I've been able to stay on that end of the truck. Jaden's been helping him as well. You learning anything today, Bob? Yeah?
A little bit.
Are you able to learn more here or at school?
Here, definitely.
You learn more here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear that. Yeah. I hope we're not teaching you any bad habits.
Yeah, right.
No? Got the Pepsi and the Mountain Dew on the step of the truck there. Looking good, looking good. I have to pull these pins out and check these bushings here as well. We talked about that a little earlier. So let's go ahead and get this side apart. Finish this job here. So I've been slacking here a little bit here today. All right, Jay's got the transmission out of this truck. Now he's gonna yank the clutch out of it. Now back when we were cleaning out the lagoon, actually Jason has babied this thing since last spring. And Jared pumped, how much grease did he pump into that? 5 tubes of grease?
If not more.
Yeah. So he pumped a bunch of grease in this to get this, to at least get the lagoon cleaned out back when we were drag lining. And it did that and then some, didn't it? I mean, this was still going. It hadn't quit yet, but he pulled the plug on the PTO to drain the oil out of the transmission, and nothing came out. So it's real gummy inside there. A bunch of metal filings, and there's some dirt in the top of it here, but that's mainly from just pulling the shifter tower off. But yeah, we never had this transmission out of this truck, and we've had this truck since when did we buy this truck? 06, I think we bought this truck. So we've had this truck 15 years. We probably haven't had to do the transmission because you haven't been driving it. I'm just kidding. This is a 15 speed. It's one of them goofy ones where 5th gear is up top and 4th gear is down at the bottom. So it's a U pattern. Jared wants to switch this one out with an 8LL. I'm not sure if Jason's gonna agree with that or not, but we'll have to have a little meeting here in a little while and discuss that.
Or we turn into a tractor trailer, or
maybe. Now this truck here,
I got W9.
before we put the lift axle on it, I moved these wheels back. This was up in this spot right here, so we moved it back to here. So if you look at where this front shackle is mounted, that was actually mounted right here. So we moved it back about, I don't know what that measurement is, 2 feet, because we had all the frame there. And then we slam that lift axle underneath it, and Jason wants to now get this tank off of there, put a fifth wheel plate on it, shorten it back up again, and haul with the big boys, right? Tim don't want him hauling with the big boys. Yeah, that's what we could do. Put a big sleeper on it. Yeah. Yeah, he could carry all his tools right with him and fix you. Keep you fixed. He could take
all your goodies up in here.
Yeah, take spare tires for you.
It'd be a tractor / service.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Rolling mechanic. Rolling mechanic. All right, so we're gonna get Tim ready to take off here in a while. He's gonna take that transmission in with him and the other stuff. And here is what these tire chains look like. He's made a couple of hot laps around the farm here just so that we could get them set, and it doesn't look like they need to be tightened at all. Now, there was an option to get tire chains that had the adjusters on both sides, but I don't think that's necessary. I think they get bent up when they're in between the tires. So he's actually on this other side adjusting right now. So how do these bite, Bub?
Not loud?
Not loud.
They go good.
Yeah.
Smooth.
They're gonna go good. We were probably, I'm guessing, about 15 minutes away from a flat tire. You know? From a broken link. So we put these on right at the right time. Right at the right time. All right, might as well brush your haylage off. I don't know if this is froze. No, it's not. Brush that off and get her put away, Bub.
Over there too.
He's gonna call him. All right, like I said, we got the transmission all out, or actually Jason's got the transmission all out. We're going to put a new clutch in it because we are this far. And this clutch here is a 6-paddle, and it is better than half wore out. And then when you replace the clutch, what you need to do is you have to have the pressure plate turned so that gives itself a fresh new surface, kind of like doing brake drums and rotors years ago. Guys used to turn them. However, we've had a couple of starter issues with this truck in the past, and it's got some nicks in the flywheel, so we're going to go ahead and get a new flywheel and pressure plate for it. Now, we got this spring pack out of the other side of the truck here. Now, this side wasn't broke, but we were taking it apart just because we're replacing the springs on the left-hand side, and we did not know this until we got it apart. This eye is actually broke, and you cannot see that until you get the springs out. So that makes me feel a little better about replacing the springs on the other side here. I was looking at the walking beam bushings. They seem pretty solid. Now we'll show you the other problem that we're having with this transmission here, because I forgot to bring it to your attention when we were over here. But there is a ton of end play here. So this rear bearing is gone on this transmission. Now, there's a lot of play there, and yeah, kind of a good time to get things taken care of here. So the last couple of videos that I've done in the shop have been real long, and we're gonna cut this one right here. And what we have going on here, after we do this job, we're gonna pull the payloader in, and what we have wrong with the payloader is that noise that we were hearing a couple weeks ago came from the center pin, and we need to get into that here in a little while and start replacing the pivot pins on that payloader. So this is where we're gonna cut this video here, and we're gonna roll into working on that payloader here. That'll be the next video, unless we have something else that comes along, right, Tim?
Never have.
You never know. You never know. Thanks for watching, folks, and we will catch you at the next one, right, Tim?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit
All
the like
right.
buttons.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
There you go. Tim tells you to do the right stuff here. So thanks for watching, folks.